Happy Halloween, guys! Welcome on into the Halloween edition here of Winning Bets. We're giving you guys some free sports picks every single day. We get to talk sports, and we get to talk some sports betting along the way. Guys, hopefully you guys had a good weekend. What were you up to? Did you guys already celebrate Halloween? I know we were able to celebrate Halloween. This year we get 2 Halloweens. The building that we live in did a little Halloween party and trick-or-treating on Saturday. And then, of course, with today actually being Halloween, we'll get to go out again tonight and walk the neighborhoods and pick up some more candy. We don't need any more goddamn candy, but we'll gladly take that more candy. And as you can see, I am a construction worker just like my little youngest son is a construction worker. He said, Dad, you got to be a construction worker too. So here we are. That's what we do. The only thing I'm missing, I tried to find it, but where the hell do you buy a pack of cigarettes at these days? Like, I went to 2 stores, couldn't find a pack of cigarettes. Where can you buy a pack of cigarettes at these days? You know, I think I need a pack of cigarettes like rolled up right in here. Then I think I'd be all right. But all right, guys, hope you guys had a good, fantastic weekend. Enjoyed your sports. Holy cow, what a fantastic weekend of sports. I cannot wait to do this weekly recap because baseball was good. You had fantastic, football games both in college and both in the NFL. And then the NASCAR race was just absolutely incredible. Definitely can't wait to talk about that on Wednesday's episode of the Highline Podcast there with William. We were going back and forth for what felt like a solid half hour there, exchanging messages. Just an unbelievable moment, probably one of the better moments in all of NASCAR's history, quite frankly, is what unfolded yesterday. So we'll make sure we, of course, get to that, but let's make sure we, of course, do what we always do, which is always recap the NFL. People are always curious how you do in the NFL. So let's go to the NFL recap first, and then we'll kind of talk about all the games. You can see there, our NFL had a lot of wins, a lot of losses, but we pulled it in a profit at plus 0.419 units. So it was a good NFL Sunday. Just was really an ebb and flow right there. Eagles, Cowboys, Bills, moneyline parlay. Finally hit a goddamn moneyline parlay. Felt like all I've been doing is giving you guys losers in terms of moneyline parlays in the NFL. Well, that one was a really easy no-brainer parlay to put together. It was nice to see all 3 teams come through in nice, easy fashion. Jags, though, minus 2.5. That was the first loss of the day there in London. Just couldn't quite get it done, and Trevor Lawrence throws an interception when the game's on the line, and they need to complete a comeback. They were generally in control, so to speak, but they let the Broncos hang around. I mean, you let teams hang around, that's what you do, is you're generally going to get punished, and the Jags certainly got punished. Jets plus 2.5. I continue to not win a bet when I bet against Bill Belichick or tail Bill Belichick. I don't even know why the hell I do it. It was a good betting spot, and I believe it was still a good betting spot. What happened to Zach Wilson in the second half? Those were interceptions that looked like a damn rookie. Absolute rookie. One rolling out on the right, throwing it down, and the second one just saying, hey, who the hell wants it? I'm just going to chuck it up down the field and throw it and see if who can get it. And it was Devin McCourty who got it. That was absolutely terrible, Zach Wilson. What are you doing? You're not a rookie anymore. You're a sophomore. You can't be making those boneheaded mistakes. You're right in that game. Now, granted, they had a little bit unfortunate right there. Just before halftime came, they had a pick 6 that was called back due to roughing the passer, which it was a good call. It was certainly a late hit on the quarterback. But, man, then Zach Wilson just literally throwing the game away there in the second half. That was some tough stuff right there. But we came back with a win there on that Titans on that money line. Easy stuff right there. Handled the Texans. Texans got a little bit of a backdoor, kind of a touchdown to make it look close, but that was Titans all the way. So nice, easy money line parlay or money line win right there. Giants and Seahawks over 44.5, got to 40. I think it was a 27-13 game. Giants just didn't quite kick in. I don't know if it was because people say it was because they traveled to London, then they traveled to Florida, then they traveled to Seattle. Maybe we're on the team. I don't know. But either way, we couldn't quite get to 44.5 points. What about Vikings on that first half cover against the first half? Told you guys, we found a hidden gem right there. It's fading those Cardinals in the first half. And now we're 3-0 fading the Cardinals in the first half. The Vikings got the win at 14-10. I think is what I recall was that halftime score. So great win right there. Titans on that first quarter money line. Boy, we cashed the full game money line, but that Titans first quarter money line was a push as it ended 0-0. What an absolute ugly loss right there. The Texans continue to not score any points at home in the first quarter as they threw up a bagel. Titans missed a field goal and gave away a possession to the Texans when they fumbled a punt. Even that's how bad the Texans are, because they punt the ball into the Titans territory, the Titans fumble it, and the Texans still can't get a goddamn point, still can't get a field goal to give us a loss. It ended 0-0, so tough right there that you fumble a punt, you can't kick a field goal, which is a very makeable field goal. I think 42, maybe 44 yards. Got to make those. You're an NFL kicker. So we suffered a push right there, but then we did bounce back with our Seahawks first half -1. We may not have hit the over, but remember there was a big discrepancy of how the Seahawks play in the first half against how the Giants play in the first half, and we got a nice easy Seahawks first half winner at -1, covering the spread. We suffered our first loss in a Buffalo Bills game. We now run our streak to 8-1, coming off the Sunday Night Football loss, a 4-legged parlay. We hit the total, first half total. We hit the full game total. We hit Stephon Diggs over his receiving yards, and we needed Josh Allen to go over 230 yards, and he ended the game with 218. They had more running success than what the Bills normally do. They're normally a pass-happy team. And then Josh Allen threw 2 second-half interceptions, which is uncharacteristic for him, which killed drives and takes away 12 yards. So just barely missed that one right there. Went 2-2 on our player props. Derrick Henry picked the wrong one. We talked on Friday's show. His rushing total is at 98.5. Guess I shouldn't have been scared of such a high number. He ran for over 200 damn yards against those Texans, so just picked the wrong one right there. Hockenson over 41.5 receiving yards, cashed on his first catch as it went for 58 yards, so no sweat winner right there. Same thing with Latavius Murray. His first catch went for 13 yards, and we only needed 6.5 receiving yards, so easy one right there. And then Saquon Barkley over 25.5 receiving yards. They just didn't use him in the passing game. Only caught 2 passes for 9 yards. Unfortunate stuff. But then we hit our big parlay of the day. Justin Fields going over his rushing total. Dolphins going over their team total. And then the 2 overs there in Carolina, Atlanta going over. And then also Arizona, Minnesota. That game also went over. So on the day, lots of wins, lots of losses in the NFL. But again, plus 4.19 units. Overall, just a good day in the NFL. We mentioned the Broncos were able to go out to London and get the victory against the Jaguars. How about that game between the Falcons and the Panthers? Boy, you thought the Panthers won it, throwing essentially the Hail Mary there to DJ Moore. He catches it, gets in the end zone, and they can't make an extra point. And then to boot, the guy has a chance to redeem himself in overtime, and he can't make a field goal. And the Falcons then squeak out the win in overtime as their kicker was able to make a field goal. That Panthers locker room, boy. You don't want to be that kicker, boy. You had 2 chances, and you couldn't come through. Yikes. Be looking over your shoulder this week. Don't see if they don't invite the kicker into practice, because they're already on a lame duck head coach after firing the guy. Don't be surprised, boy, if they bring in a kicker for some tryouts. That's not a good look. Cowboys over the Bears by 20 points. Again, that was like the easiest money line parlay. Hopefully you guys did that Eagles, Cowboys, Bills. That was just a no-brainer. Dolphins over the Lions in an absolute shootout right there, but the Dolphins come through on top. They look good with Tua again. Now 5-0 with Tua behind the helm. If he stays healthy, that'll certainly be a dangerous team because they've got a nice secondary. They've got great corners. So great game there by the Dolphins. Vikings over the Cardinals. Again, they win the first half for us, and they carry that advantage over and winning the entire game. That's what you're seeing in Cardinals games. You're seeing them super competitive in the second half. That's why this first half fading them is an absolute gem. They're just god-awful in the first half. So Vikings get the win, 34-26. Saints over the Raiders. Raiders get blanked, 24-0. That one didn't pop up on Red Zone too often, but when it did pop up, Alvin Kamara was just scored in another touchdown. So nice big game there by Alvin Kamara. Patriots over the Jets. That guy, Bill Belichick. Guys, don't let me bet against or for the Patriots ever again. And it's all Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson right there. Eagles over the Steelers, 35-13. Yeah, easy win right there. Titans over the Texans, 17-10. No sweat winner right there, even though the score was close. Commanders beating the Colts, 17-16. So Colts want to go ahead and make a quarterback change. That doesn't matter. They still can't move the ball, and they still can't get points. So good job there by the Commanders. 49ers over the Rams. Boy, 49ers own Sean McVay. Like, they're his daddy. They cannot beat the 49ers up under Sean McVay, and the 49ers get it done again. Tristan McCaffrey there, throwing touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, catching touchdowns. He is the absolute do-it-all until he gets hurt. You guys know, I think he's quality, but just can he stay healthy? If he stays healthy, okay, 49ers could be something there in that NFC. Seahawks over the Giants, as we mentioned, and Bills, the best team in football. Didn't blow them out. Second half, again, Josh Allen threw a couple picks. They only get 3 points in the second half. They let the Packers hang around. Packers, I thought the announcer said it well. They couldn't throw the ball. They had to run the ball, and they were running the ball extremely effective. So you got to just stay with it, and it's eating up the clock, keeping Josh Allen off the field. But yeah, Bills were just too much in the first half and got too big of a lead, and they were able to carry that on through. So 27-17 for the best team in football. They now move to 6-1. All right, let's go now to the full week recap. We do get to ring the cash register. We went 18-23 and plus 1.16 units. Oh boy, what could it have been? Now up on the year though, 86.95 units. What were those good wins from last week? I about enter on that first half team total, and I cannot wait to get my jersey. I believe I've paid everybody their 5 jerseys. If you're thinking you haven't been paid out, by all means hit me up, but I'm pretty sure I paid her, and I cannot wait. I don't have a yellow kit. We got the Milan yellow kit, and then I had a chance to pay an extra $12 and get the Champions League patch on it. So I got the Champions League. These are high quality. I spent a fair amount of money, but I'll gladly do it to you guys, and I'll gladly do it to whoever wins the next giveaway. But I cannot wait for these jerseys to come in. So Inter Milan with the nice 4-unit cash, a good plus 160. How about that West Ham West Brom when we live totaled over over 0.5 goals in that first half and got a goal in the 43rd minute. A very controversial handball. I still stand by that. That's a handball. Even though we got a cash, from a fan perspective, like I would like consistency in the officiating, in the ruling, and we've seen that be called a handball because it, while it was incidental, it was ball to hand, it definitely contributed to the goal because the ball pops up and it does. But whatever, I got money in my pocket, so I'm all good right there. What about Liverpool Leeds first half over 1.5 at plus money? What a great cash right there. And hopefully you guys are checking out, our weekly Premier League show breakdown where we break down all 10 Premier League games, because that was one where we talked about how Leeds comes out high flying in the first half and they really shoot their wad in the first half and they've got nothing in the second half. You knew Liverpool was going to come out strong at Anfield, so to get 2 goals in the first half at plus money, absolutely love that one. And hopefully you stayed away from Liverpool and weren't tricked by their 3-0 result in Champions League, because we talked about how they were so wildly inconsistent and they did not beat Leeds at home. You cannot back Liverpool guys to really get results these days. They're just too wildly inconsistent. What about Lamar Jackson there? Boy, once the Ravens got their head out of their ass and started running the ball, that was an easy cash, and got the cash on the first play of the third quarter. They just had to make us have an uncomfortable sweat and just not play Ravens football for the first half. I still don't understand. What was that graphic? I know we said 7 rushes in the first half, 32 passes, and then it went from the complete opposite. Just what were they doing in that first half? Again, we mentioned those Vikings and Seahawks. I think we found a gem there with the Cardinals. And even the Seahawks, though, I kind of like that one as well. So, and then Timberwolves, first quarter against the spread. Remember going up against the Lakers on Friday? The first place team up against the worst place team. I just wish that was a little bit deeper in the season, and that would have been a multi-unit play, because the stats were all there. It all justified it. I just didn't have a big sample size to go off of. That's why it was a 1-unit play. But if we get those same kind of betting spot later on the season, don't worry, guys. We will fully take advantage, and that'll be a nice 2-unit play and a nice 2-unit winner as the Timberwolves beat the Lakers 28-25 in that first quarter. Oh, boy, we had some bad losses, though, last week, guys. What about Fulham, Everton, over 2.5, 3-unit play? It was part of an absolute bloodbath that I took on Saturday. That Liverpool Leeds was the only win I had. Otherwise, Brentford didn't win on Saturday. You know what Brentford did on Saturday? They scored a goal and then conceded 2 minutes later to a Ruben Neves kind of wonder hit. Tough stuff right there. Chelsea didn't get the win on Saturday. Our over 1.5 parlay didn't come through. And then losing that 3-unit there between Fulham and Everton. And I'll admit it, guys. I sit here all the time and brag and show tickets about how, hey, if you got a game that you expect goals and you haven't seen a goal and you get plus money, you should probably bet it. I got my ass handed to me because I lost 3 units, that we all talk about, that you probably lost 3 units, but then I was sitting there watching that game. Fulham had 11 shots in the first half. Everton had 7. They were both creating. The shots were there. They were on target. And I just sat there and hammered it until damn near the whistle blew off and I lost. Yeah, I got my ass handed to me that game. I'll admit it right there. So that one was not fun at all. Sevilla, Copenhagen under 2.5. We talked about that midweek when we recapped it. Kind of a brutal loss right there with 2 late goals coming in the 88th and the 93rd minute when the game had just been sailing 0-0 up until the 65th minute. Tough stuff right there. 76ers, Raptors, first quarter over. That was on Friday. We lost on the hook. Tough stuff right there. Hate losing on the hook. What about Chastain and Bell? I've been waiting to get to this NASCAR section, guys. And if you're a NASCAR fan, if you're not a NASCAR fan, I would say, go watch the highlight. But I don't think you can appreciate it because you don't understand all the buildup and the drama of Chastain starting P5, just having a shitty car all day, falling around 10th, and couldn't pass anybody because he just didn't have the speed. and to get around anybody. So then he falls out of the playoff standings, slated to not make the championship 4 at Phoenix. Hamlin's got the advantage over him, and he pulls what they call the video game move, where you just go into the last 2 turns and gun it as fast as you can, and my man runs the edges and shoots by like 10 people, and ends up passing Denny Hamlin. He didn't necessarily need to pass Denny Hamlin. He needed to get past multiple cars just to gain points. But the fact that he also then passed Hamlin with the controversy that they had earlier on the season, and Hamlin said he was going to pay him back, and Hamlin was chicken shit with about 20 laps to go. They were bumper to bumper, and Hamlin had an opportunity to dump Chastain if he wanted to. He could hook him on his right rear and send him spinning, but he didn't do it. He's chicken shit. And I love that Chastain pulled off that video game move. Maybe you do got to go YouTube that and look it up. The video's got like 3 million views. I mean, my man just, that was such an exciting shot. I hate losing the bet. Went up against the race winner there in Christopher Bell. Man, Christopher Bell rose up. Another must-win spot. My man Christopher Bell rose up. You know what next week is? It's another must-win spot. It's the last race. Christopher Bell, I would not put it past him to rise up another big spot, another must-win spot, and get a win. So I hate losing a bet, but damn Chastain, I tell you, I went crazy in this house watching that live. That was absolutely unbelievable stuff right there. And then the last notable loss there is Patriots minus 6.5. Again, do not let me bet for or tail, whatever, fade Bill Belichick. It never does me right. Does not do me right there. All right, let's jump in this comment section, see what you guys are talking about on this great Saturday morning. Saturday morning. So I was reading something here. Monday, and then we'll see what you guys. Bob the Parlay Builder. Yeah, Bob the Parlay Builder. I like that. That crazy was finished. Yeah, that literally, I think may have been the greatest thing in NASCAR, and people will be talking about that. And now you had drivers talk about they want NASCAR to make rule changes and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's the greatest maybe moment in NASCAR history, and guys are talking about NASCAR changing it. That was wild. I'm still buzzing about it. It's like 12 hours later, whatever it is. I can't stop thinking about it, talking about it too, Brian. I already hit up William, see if we can do this week's Highline podcast early. He's super fired up about it. Obviously, Briscoe gave him a chase there with they had that caution with about 30 to go. Briscoe and Custer stayed out. He had to stay out on old tires. He was always going to get past, but he had to do that strategy. So I can't wait, Brian. I can't wait to talk about it. But 6-1. I know. Vikings getting it done. They're definitely the team in the NFC North. Nobody's going to be able to knock them off. I'm holding a sprinkle on a Kirk Cousins Offensive Player of the Year. I'm hoping Josh Allen wins MVP and then give the Offensive Player of the Year to Kirk Cousins, because I've got a little bit of a sprinkle on that one. So, ADD day twice. I'm not sure what that means, Brian. Let's circle back on that. What was the Bills-Packers same game parlay? I think you heard it, though, but we had their first half total for the Bills. It went over. We had their full game total. It went over. We had Stephon Diggs go over his receiving yards. We needed Josh Allen to have 230 passing yards. He couldn't quite get it done. Only ended the game with 218. So, morning, Dad. You had Commanders money line, Vikings win at halftime, and full-time win the parlay. God, you guys love that. Yes, you guys jumping on that Cardinals. Fade the Cardinals in the first half. I love that. Yeah, they sure did. Like I said, it wasn't really popping up on NFL Red Zone, so I can't speak of what the Raiders did, but clearly I missed nothing, so not too worried about that. Yes, I was, like I said, I was live betting the hell out of it, and it didn't go well for me. I did hit Manchester United West Ham under 2.5 goals. Talked about that too on Weekly Premier League show. That's now 5 straight under 2.5 cashes, and that's now 4. It's gonna be like 4 of the last 5 1-0 finishes, if I recall correctly, or maybe 4 of the last 6 1-0 finishes. That looked like 2 teams that were in Europe. Watched that one. Soccer was a bummer this weekend. Man City got 1 goal, and it was on De Bruyne free kick. Holland he's out with a foot. Just to shout you out, Degent, and I actually said, don't do it. I wish I had your information. When Holland was ruled not to be playing due to his foot injury, your under 3.5 was absolutely a great play without Holland. So Holland's not going to play midweek against Sevilla. He's a doubt for this coming weekend against Fulham. If they don't have Holland, that team did not look good without Holland this past weekend against Leicester. So definitely something to monitor there. Could be a play worth going. Good morning there, Ross. Not sure what you are watching Rodgers get wrecked. Yeah, that Bills defensive line, they were all over him last night. Ed Oliver getting pressure, Von Miller getting pressure. Yeah, Rodgers, he just couldn't do a damn thing. That's why they ran the ball, and then they had tons of success actually with both of their backs, with Dillon and Jones. So good to see stuff right there. All right, we talked about the Inter Milan jersey, so we don't talk about that. Good. Hopefully you guys get your jerseys soon. Hopefully I get my jersey soon. I do want to talk about tomorrow's show. My son's got the hell do they call it? Like a fall festive breakfast, something that I want no part of, but I have to go to. And it's from 8 to 11. So this show will be sometime after 11 a.m. Probably won't get home till maybe like 11:30 noon. And then I'm just going to come in here and do it. So there won't be much of a heads up in terms of when it is, but it will be get done. I always love doing the recap and then going through the bets on today's show and talking about them and justifying them, what have you. But I will not make you wait for the show to get those bets, right? We've got Champions League, NBA, etc. So just make sure you're following me on Twitter. I'll give them out on the show, but you'll definitely get them out on Twitter beforehand. So sorry to not be with you guys tomorrow in the normal morning slot, but we'll pick it up sometime around lunchtime tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully that breakfast can just get over with and I can get the hell out of there, quite frankly. All right, let's go ahead now and get on into some bets today, fellas. Let's start first with Monday Night Football. We got some Monday Night Football bets we need to go ahead and get to. It's only interested in one bet. And you know what? We've been hitting lately on these first halves, first quarters. And again, it's because of stats. How you come out to start games is a very noticeable trend. Well, I think we got a good one here in the Browns first quarter, plus 1.5 points at minus 145 on DraftKings. If you're looking for this bet, they have the first quarter tab and an alternate tab. You want to go to the alternate one. The real one is +1. I didn't want to gamble just to push. If let's say it finishes 7-6, I want to win if it finishes 7-6. So I did the alternate, paid a little bit more juice, got to minus 145 and got an extra half a point. So that's where you can find it over there on DraftKings. So we've talked about this. These two teams score 6.9 and 5.9 points in the first quarter. Admittedly, the Bengals are the team with 6.9 points. But if we look at home and away, that being said, if they want to go ahead and score 6.9 points and the Browns want to score 5.9 points, that's a winner right there because we get a point and a half. But if you look at home and away, the teams are scoring 7.8 and 6 points, with the Browns having the advantage now being the home team because they score 7.8 points at home, where the Bengals only score 6 in a row. And if you look at what these two teams allow, they allow 2.7 and 6.1 points, with the Browns being the team that only allow 2.7 points in the first quarter, while the Bengals are allowing 6.1 points in the first quarter. And again, if you want to look at home and away, the Browns drop to 1.5 points. Is all they allow at home in the first quarter is 1.5 points, and the Bengals get worse on the road. They allow 7.5 points. So you can mix and match those numbers however you want. Whatever outcome you get, once you add Browns plus 1.5, you get a winner. So we like that right there. And the Bengals also, it's going to be the first game without Jamar Chase, and that's obviously a pretty good talking point. We don't know how the Bengals are going to come out. How are they going to adjust without Jamar Chase? And then they also get the flip side of, they don't know how a defense is going to play them now that they don't have their best playmaker on the field to contend with there from a Browns defense standpoint. So how are defenses going to play the Bengals now? So you could definitely see a scenario where the numbers kind of go along with the storyline here. So yeah, go again, give me those Browns in the first quarter at plus 1.5 points at minus 145 over DraftKings. And that's the only bet I'm rolling with tonight on Monday Night Football. We do got a couple NBA bets, and then we've got a look ahead for Thursday Night Football. For the NBA, though, we're going to go ahead and roll with Rockets Clippers under 56.5 points in the first quarter at minus 115. And then I got that at points bet, and then I went back to points bet. It's out at 58.5. You can clearly tell, fellas, I'm on the wrong side based on that. Like, if you just want to look at that, I bought it at 56. PointsBet changed it to 58. They've had enough money coming on the over. They've upped it 2 points. So I am going against the betting public, and I could really care less. FanDuel, just to give you a little extra note, FanDuel opened at 56.5, and BetMGM opened at 56.5. PointsBet had the only number for about an hour and a half. And then, like I said, FanDuel and MGM have opened up at 56.5. They have not gone crazy like PointsBet and gone to 58.5, and DraftKings has yet to open that line up. But either way, I like this. These two teams are scoring 47 points combined in the first quarter. Home and away, Combined, they score 43 points. They allow 53 points. And home and away, they allow 55 points. Every single one of those numbers was under 56 and under 58.5. So sign me up. If this was later in the season, this would have been a 2-unit bet. If we had more data to go off of, I'd feel comfortable putting 2 units on it, but we don't. But I guess I do kind of have 2 units on it, but it's at 2 different numbers. I would have gone in 2 units at 56.5. Absolutely would have. If you're looking for the best price now, if you want to do the 56.5, BetMGM has that at plus 110, and FanDuel, I think, is next at minus 102. So, yeah, come on in for both, though. Or if you want to go in 56.5, 2 units, whatever you guys want. But, yeah, come on in. Let's ride. Let's talk some Thursday Night Football. Remember there was that team in the first quarter at home? They've scored 0 points. Those Texans, and now they're going up against the best team in the NFC. Ain't scored a damn point at home in the first quarter, and the Titans gave them every goddamn chance, missing field goals, fumbling punts, and the Texans still couldn't take advantage. And again, now you're getting the best team in the NFC. Give me that first quarter -3 at minus 105 or at DraftKings, and then I'll even just take that advantages over to the first half, because you guys remember how good the Eagles are in the first half, because that's when we started fading the Cardinals and got our first win fading the Cardinals in the first half, because the Eagles were number 1. They're not no longer number 1, they're number 2. But I'll go ahead and sign that up against this crappy-ass Texans team. So those are 2 look-ahead bets. We'll try and add some, maybe some player props or something to when it comes a little closer. And, of course, the sports books give us some numbers. But I wanted to go ahead and get out Eagles first quarter -3 and first half -7. And you can get both of those numbers over at DraftKings. We'll jump in this comment section, see what you guys are doing, and let everybody go and enjoy their Halloween. Sweet. No more comments. That's what it is. All right, fellas. That's what it is. We got some winners here to start off. We got those Browns, and we got 2 bets there on those Rockets, Clippers. I wanted to fade Ben Simmons today, but they're playing the Pacers, who they just played the other night. He got 9 points. His number's at 8.5. I mean, I'm not worried that he went over. You're going to suffer losses, but I just wish he wasn't playing the Pacers on back-to-back games. If it was a different opponent, yeah, I'd be right in on fading that Ben Simmons, but I maybe look to pick that up another night. So, anyways, that's how we'll roll. Browns in the under there in that NBA first quarter, fellas. So, appreciate you guys kicking off Monday morning with me here. Again, you're going out tonight. Hopefully, you have a fantastic Halloween. Get that candy. Do what you got to do. And we'll come on back tomorrow. We got Champions League. Again, we'll come back around lunchtime, but just follow me on Twitter. The bets will come out earlier, much earlier on in the day, and possibly even this afternoon. Whenever I bet them, I'll go ahead and tweet them out. All right, fellas, enjoy your Monday. We'll see you back here tomorrow.